a bedridden devil. His army of clones at his jaw did they revel. They came after us, crossed the borderline. They came after took us, all our offers to send down their minds. While the feathered beast read out the bob, so cried the trekker, this madness must stop. Toss a coin to your trekker, oh planet of plenty, oh planet of plenty, oh. Toss a coin to your trekker, oh planet of plenty. The vile Kurogans fled and hid what they had stole. Riorfan was shackled and kept in the cold. But he did not relent. The Turd King was hell-bent. He slayed the Kurogans, then to Bird's house he went. And with a mighty blow, he struck that button red. The mighty bird folded in two by his bed. That's my epic tale, our champion prevailed. So let's drink a toast with some Romulan ale. Toss a coin to your trekker, oh planet of plenty, oh planet of plenty, oh. Toss a coin to your trekker, oh planet of plenty, oh planet of plenty, oh. Toss a coin to your trekker, oh planet of plenty, oh planet of plenty, oh. Toss a coin to your trekker, the great turd of Stanley.
Making your way with the nerds today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from hating JJ sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to just get laid? Sometimes you wanna go where all the Trekkies know your name, and they're always glad you came. You wanna be in a galaxy where Star Trek isn't lame. You wanna go where everybody knows your name.
Hey guys, Michael J. Crawford, the Anti-Trekker here. Exhausted. It's, this is my new schedule. It is what it is. I don't like getting off work this late, but I can't change anything about it, at least for now, not until I can do this full time. So, yeah, that's where we're at. Renegades is first in the house this afternoon. Josh says, you're late unsubbing. I'm not late. This is just the new time. Richie says, what's up, Anti-Trekker? Tired. Thomas says, hi. Mark says, hi. Mike Richards is here from Columbus, Ohio. Kenneth says, what's good? Well, lots of things, but not my mood right now. I'm a little sour, so hopefully you guys will cheer me up. Richie says, I love the song indeed. Best theme song on the internet. I don't care what anybody says. Cinnabon says, hi. How you doing, Cinnabon? Piano Dean, speaking of the best theme song in the internet, the performer of said theme song is Piano Dean. Good morning, my friend. Tom says, oh, well, I guess I can't succeed you as president. I'll take back my fancy suit I bought. Oh, you can. Martok, I'm sure, will endorse you. Biden Touch says, what the F is this? This is me. Renegade says, General Martok supports Turdistan. Excellent power move. Well, actually, remember, it's Chancellor Martok. And yes, he does. And by the way, you're going to hear some propaganda from the Kurogans about how he said Hail Kuroga during a stream that he was on today. He was over on a stream at the Axanar Comics channel. However, you have to take things into proper context. He did say the words Hail Karoga, but you could tell he was kind of depressed saying it, and he was only responding because someone put in a super chat. I won't say who that person is, but that person happens to show up here a lot, Sci-Fi Nation. But they were putting in super chats basically asking him to say it. Now, I never asked him to say Death for Karoga in a super chat. I never did that. And in fact, here's what happened when Bird of Prey himself put in a $5 super chat just trying to basically get him to turn around on Karoga. This is an absolutely beautiful moment. Pay close attention.
Bird of Prey 5 says, Kapla, JG. Karoga still believes in you, even if you don't believe in us. It's a good day to smash a turd. Hail Karoga.
Death to Karoga.
You heard it. You heard it. When Bird of Prey said, Hail Karoga, what was the man's answer? What was the man's answer?
Death to Karoga.
That's right. One more time.
Bird of Prey 5 says, Kapla, JG. Karoga still believes in you, even if you don't believe in us. It's a good day to smash a turd. Hail Karoga.
Death to Karoga.
Sweet. So there you go. There you have it. Bird of Prey trying to manipulate Chancellor Martok, and it backfired on him. Now later on, he says something, well, I'd less like to say hail to Karoga. But he wasn't saying it like, hail Karoga, like he was saying hail like hailing frequencies open. He's just, hi, how you doing? Because people kept putting in super chats in that stream trying to get him to say hail Karoga. DJ is playing games. I'm sorry to interrupt, DJ. I am truly sorry. This is just the time I got to do it. Good evening, Turtistan. How you doing, Valor? Good to see you, my friend. Continuous says, how they hanging? Short and shriveled and to the left. Oh, wait, that's another thing. I bit my tongue pretty hard today, and I'm having difficulty typing. Fred, one quick question. How does biting your tongue have any effect on your typing skills? Just wondering. Fox and Barnett are here. Says Turtistan's primary expert is... No. Actually, the primary expert from Turtistan is love. Richie said, yeah, I left DJ stream for this. Better be good. I'll do my best. Mr. Miles is first, but won't be here long. Well, aren't you special, Mr. Miles? Well, late night stream, rarity. Actually, Mr. Captain, this is going to be more common. What's base... Because my new work schedule is from Eastern time, 3 to midnight. That's just when I have to work. And my days off are going to be Wednesday and Thursday. It's just a crappy schedule. But I'm going to make do with it. So I'm going to continue to do my nighttime live streams on Monday, except that it'll be later. On Tuesday, I'm going to do a daytime stream like I did before because I'll be off during the day. Wednesday and Thursday, I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do it yet, except Wednesday, I'm still planning on doing Midnight's Edge since I'm off on Wednesday. And then Thursday, I haven't decided yet. And I'm also planning on, at least for the next 8 weeks, doing the 3 a.m. Picard stream until Picard is done. So some of it's up in the air. Some of it I know, like Mondays and Tuesdays, I got figured out. I haven't figured out the rest of the week yet. Isaiah says, Mr. Miles, I just watched a video about you. It was awesome. Wow, a video about Mr. Miles? Where's that? The Bezoplo says, I work late too. Sweet. Well, in that case, welcome. This is your new schedule. This is Sparta. Yes. Let's call Bird and play Death to Karoga. That'll make you feel better. If it wasn't for the fact that I'm just a really nice guy, I would do that. Just to play over and over and over in his ear. Although I gotta say, as great as that is, it's not as
Bird
good
of
as...
Prey 5 says, Kapla, JG. Karoga still believes in you, even if you don't believe in us. It's a good day to smash a turd. Hail Karoga.
Death to Karoga.
So yeah, don't you try to trick the Chancellor, my friend. Piano Dean says, actually, I just realized it's not morning yet where you are. Oh, well, we'll be soon. And please join me in lifting up Rush Limbaugh in prayer. I'm sure you heard the news by now. Actually, yes, I was listening in on Bird of Prey stream today from work, and that's how I found out. So you and Bird talking about that. So apparently Rush Limbaugh is in late stage lung cancer. I will tell you that's how my mom passed away. And the good news, and I know this is I'm just trying to be pragmatic here. The good news about it is that lung cancer is not the worst way to go as far as cancers are concerned. So it's not like pancreatic cancer or something like that that's just excruciatingly painful. My mom never suffered, except for like maybe the last 2 days of her life, and by that point her brain was gone. So it really is not the worst way to go as far as cancer is concerned. That being said, yeah, I feel sorry for him, his family, obviously, and I understand there was a lot of negative stuff said because Rush Limbaugh is a very controversial person, right? He's a hard right talk show host, the hard right talk show host, and a lot of people were offended by him over the years, and so a lot of people are celebrating the fact that he has cancer. I'm sorry, that is sick and wrong. I don't care what your political beliefs are. I really don't. And I'm not even saying I agree or disagree with Rush politically. It's sick and wrong to celebrate someone suffering and dying. It's just freaking wrong. Even I don't care if it's Rush Limbaugh, or some far left nut job, or I don't care if it's freaking Ryan Johnson or Kathleen Kennedy. I am not going to celebrate a human being suffering. And so for those people that do, I got nothing. Sean puts $5 in. Thank you so much. What did the Jamaicans say to the Fringy? Have a nice day, man. Oh, man. Thank you, Sean. That makes me feel a little bit better. As stupid as that was, that makes me feel a little bit better. Valor says, for you, Death to Disco or Fruity Holes, your pick with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Valor. And obviously, I haven't fixed the setup back here. But thank you, my friend. And so, Death to Disco or Fruity Holes, of those two, I think I'm going to have to take Death to Disco. That one still brings a smile to my face, even though I've watched. Thank you, Chancellor Martok. Even though I've seen it about 1 million times. And thank you again, my friend. I truly do appreciate it, especially on a day like this. Life with Matthews here says, hey, Trigger and all, burning the midnight oil. No, this is just the new schedule for me. And that's why, remember I said when you were talking about doing a live stream about Picard, I was saying, I have no idea what my schedule is going to be. Well, my schedule is apparently 3 to midnight Eastern now. Which means, by the way, Life with Matthew, I was going to talk to you because I know you've been doing these live streams about Picard on Thursday mornings. I should be able to join you, actually, not every week, but at least every now and then. So I was thinking about asking you if you were planning on doing that this week. Mr. Cat says, he says, Hail Karoga, but it was followed up by, what the F is that? Exactly. He was just reading it because people were super chatting it. It didn't have any meaning to it. And by the way, if these Karogans really believe that he's a changeling, like they like to say, why would they be trying to pay him to say that? And Fred says, love the JG Hertzler. I could never get his name right. Hertzler interview. Oh, a death to Karoga. Yes, it was. I gotta say, and I'm not trying to pat myself on the back at all, but I think that the panel discussion we had with him a couple of days ago was a little bit better than this one. But that's okay. I did extend an invitation to him to join me on this channel, and if I can, and this is honestly, I'm hoping that he'll be able to do it. What I wanted to do was actually just have a couple of people. I was going to have Bird of Prey, actually, myself, and Lore Reloaded. For one thing, because I know Bird of Prey and Lore Reloaded both love Deep Space Nine a lot and would really be honored by meeting him, and both of them are smart enough to ask him some interesting questions. And then maybe one or two others, but depends on how it's going. But that's something that I want to do, but I can't. I don't know. It's going to depend on JG. Ozzy says, "How are things?" Tired. If Trek is up for sale, should we crowdfund CBS's asking price? Sure, just send it to me. I will buy Trek. Just popped in to say hi, and good to see you animated. Thank you, David. It's good to be animated, I guess. Mark says, Boris Johnson might end British TV fee. The doctor may soon be cleansed by Go Woke, Go Broke. That, you know what? I think that's the worst thing for BBC is the fact that, the ratings don't matter to them. So I hope that's true. Don Juan says, the most advanced species in Star Trek was the dinosaur species from Voyager's distant origin. Prove me wrong. Organians. More advanced. Birds Jedi mind tricks are reversed. The weak-minded Krogan Jedi looks like an idiot against a strong-minded individual. Yes, Kurogans, they're fools. What can you say? Isaiah says his typing skills are as bad as mine. I use the microphone 100% of the time. I understand. And then Mr. Miles says the Iconians, the Borg, the Q. Yes, all more advanced than the dinosaurs. Don Juan is laughing about the Borg. Really? You're going to laugh about the Borg? Thomas says your schedule works for me. Well, you work pretty much 20 hours a day, right? Don Juan says, Mr. Miles, move out of your mom's basement and find a brain. Let me say something real quick, Don Juan. Even though I know that you're fighting with Miles, not me. Miles is a lot smarter than you're giving him credit for. All right, and Miles puts me in my place all the frickin' time, and he's good at it. So don't underestimate him. And Don Juan says, poor Rush Limbaugh, thoughts and prayers, enjoy hell. Okay, that was just mean. I don't understand what you're saying. And then he says, Rush has been a cancer for years. It's karma. You see, that kind of thing. Let me say, Don Juan, and if you want to continue saying crap like that, I will advise the moderators to time you out, because that is completely inappropriate. All right, the man has cancer. It's serious. He's probably going to die from it. It's a major loss for his family. It's a major loss for the institution of the EIB Institute, or whatever they call his business. It is not, and besides that, the man is freaking dying, okay? Can you have a little bit of respect? If you don't like him, fine. But another thing that I would caution you about, Don Juan, and I don't know where you fall spiritually as far as what you believe, all right? I don't. However, because you said enjoy hell, I'm going to assume for a moment that you believe that hell exists, that there is a heaven and a hell. And you, of course, believe that Rush is going to be there. Now, if you believe in a heaven and a hell because you happen to be a Christian, then let me tell you something. Saying what you just said is exactly what condemns people to hell. And that's right out of the Bible, my friend. So, yeah, you want to be very careful about condemning other people like that. And if you don't believe in it, then why are you using that kind of language? And you're being a hypocrite. Roma Time Tracker says, I lost a brother to lung cancer. Yeah, it's not, obviously there's no good way to go, but it's definitely not the worst. My dad, he had cancer that, he had pancreatic cancer, and he suffered. It was painful to be, and oh man, his last months were just pure agony. He could not get enough medication to dull the pain. They did the same to Christopher Hitchens. Yeah, well, and that's the thing. I don't, and like Christopher Hitchens, when Richard Dawkins' turn comes, anybody, it doesn't matter. and regardless of, I hope that, just from my own personal beliefs, I hope that they find God before they pass, but that's not, but at the very least, treat them with a little bit of respect. You don't have to agree with anything. If you think everything Rush Limbaugh said on his talk show is utter crap, that's fine. But you know what? This is not the time. Sorry. And I know Kronos hates that I said sorry. And John McCain, says Fred. I'm not sure why. Piano D says, Don Juan, that's a pretty messed up thing to say. Yeah, I agree. And let's see. Rush is just an entertainer. He's as fun on the right as Jon Stewart is on the left. Neither should be taken too seriously. I tend to agree. In fact, I haven't listened to Rush in a very, very long time. I'll tell you, I listened to him when the Ditto concept was new. All right, that's how long ago it was that I listened to Rush. And I understand, by the way, and I know that Bird of Prey touched on this. The whole Ditto thing, people that don't follow the show, and I don't really follow the show, but I understood it. They really don't get it. They think that Ditto means that I agree with everything you say. And the way that came about, and Rush has told this story a few times on his show, that back in the day when I listened to it at least, I'm sure he still mentions it every now and then, is the way that it got started was that, as typical talk shows on the radio, people would first call up and say, oh, hey, first time caller, it's I'm a big fan, you have a great show, blah, 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 right? And whenever they get started. So someone did that, and then the next person that called in said, hey, ditto what that guy said. And now let me get to my point. So it basically condensed the whole, hey, I really like your show, been listening for a while, big fan kind of thing, condenses it down to just ditto. And that caught on, and so then everybody that called into the Rush Limbaugh show would say ditto instead of saying I love your show, I'm a big fan, and all that crap. It's just an abbreviated way to say that. But people think that it's like, oh yes, we agree with everything you say, Rush. We are your zombie horde, whatever. I completely disagree with Rush's politics, but as a person, he has my well wishes. Exactly, and I don't agree with a lot of what I'm sorry, the man is. I think Mike with Matthew nailed it. He's just an entertainer, and he said it a few times. That's his job, is to entertain people, and he does a good job of it. Isaiah says, I was referring to the latest upload on the Anti-Tricker channel about Mr. Miles. I just assumed Mr. Miles from Star Trek and Mr. Miles on Anti-Tricker were the same person. Yes. So, Chief Miles O'Brien. Which, by the way, I know Darren, doesn't look like Darren's here right now, but great video, wasn't it? Now, I know that video is not brand spanking new. It was on his channel for a little while, but there's a couple more reruns coming but they're really solid, and he's got some new ones coming, and Darren has really got a lot of talent there. He's criminally undersubbed. That's why I'm partnering with him, so he can get a little more exposure. And there's other people that will be partnering as well. Don Juan says, well, I will. My investments are strong. I love watching Trump cut all the aid. Don, you seem very cynical. Says, number 23, spin Spock spin. Yes, we get to watch Spock spin, because that's what Spock should do, is spin. We need the Chancellor saying, Karoga, is that a battle of warm Jalooch? That would be great. Hello there, Detector. Are you ready for the possibility that... of last Star Trek Picard episode before the show goes downhill really fast? Sci-Fi says, I'm not making any assumptions whether the show's going to go up or down, so I'm just going to take it as it goes, and if it sucks, you'll hear me say it. If it's awesome, you'll hear me say that. And so far, it's been good, but not great. And let's see. Mr. Miles is pointing out, no, he's a chief engineer. Mr. Miles from Star Trek is not. It's a common mistake, but he was chief of operations on Deep Space Nine and a chief transporter operation in TNG. That's true. That's true. And in fact, Mr. Miles is an officer, while Miles O'Brien was not, which of course was a major part of Darren's video. Live Matthew says, I do plan on doing the Picard stream. You're welcome whenever work allows. All right, cool. So I will keep an eye out for it. It's really more whether sleep allows than work allows. 3 to midnight, those are the hours Herman Schmeckelbeck does his evil deeps, and midnight to 3. And Sidgard says, great interview. I assume you're talking about the one that I participated in which case, thank you. If you're talking about the one that was on today, then you should be thanking Axonar Comics. Mr. Miles says, or Sci-Fi says, Mr. Miles, engineer, anti-tricker, should have you do all his Stargate videos since you're a huge Stargate fan nerd. Actually, funny you should say that, Sci-Fi Sith. Me and Mr. Miles were talking about exactly that today. And if he hasn't already said that, Mr. Miles can confirm. But yes, we've actually been talking about that. Fred says, J.G. Hertzler as General Martok is Klingon to me. I agree. And, you know, I said it to his face when I was on the show with him a few days ago, is that I'm a big the original series guy. If you ask me what the best Star Trek is, I'm going to say the original series without blinking every single time. I love, and of the Klingons of the original series, I loved Kang. Kang was freaking awesome. I really liked him. However, Martok is the greatest Klingon of all time. Martok defined Klingon honor to me. So, yeah, I absolutely love Martok. Valor liked the video about O'Brien. Excellent. Well, there's more coming. Eric said, good evening, Andrew, my friend. How are you feeling tonight? Like crap, my friend. Like my freaking avatar. Holy crap, dude. Wipe that nose. That green thing is huge. Okay. Whatever. Nightbreeze says, hi, Jugger. Is that something hanging out of your nose? Will you guys stop doing that? I hate when you see there's nothing hanging out of my nose. I got allergies, so I'm sniffing a little bit, but there's nothing hanging out of my nose. And if there was, yeah, I'm looking at the recording just to make sure, yeah. What a bunch of jerks around here. Mr. Captain says, you just know that Bird is going to stalk every Trek alumni until he gets that audio clip of Hail Kuroga. Oh, yeah, I know. But you see, the difference is that...
Death to Kuroga!
Listen to the passion in that voice.
Death to Kuroga!
And then, of course, listen to the spontaneous remark here.
Bird of Prey 5 says, Kapla, JG. Kuroga still believes in you, even if you don't believe in us. It's a good day to smash a turd. Hail Kuroga.
Death to Kuroga!
Listen to that. Death to Kuroga. The man was, the man, the myth, the legend, Chancellor Martok. Commander says, my thoughts and prayers go out to Maharishi. We will always stand by and remember the true talent he has brought to the world. Yeah, it's sad. Dad liver cancer, mom leukemia. Ooh, those are tough. Sci-Fi says, Mr. Engineer, you won't get paid hardly anything from Andy Trekker for all your hard work. Wow, you're just mean. I may not be able to stick around for the whole stream as Vivian and I have to get up early taking her aunt's dog to get him fixed in the morning. Whoo, man. All right. Well, you have fun with that. The dog won't. Sid Lord says, how's it going? I'm hanging in there. Sci-Fi says, greetings, Andy Trekker, the stream stomper and fellow nerds. Okay. Rambling Canuck says, hello, Andy Trekker and all. Hey, that booger monster is... and Eric says, ditto, Andy Trekker. That's very kind. I don't deserve it, but thank you. And let's see. I disagree with what Rush Limbaugh says, but I'm sad for him and his loved ones that he has cancer. Exactly. And that's Tubin, I know that it's hard for people to get past that. I mean, I will be completely honest. There are members of my immediate family that haven't talked to me in years because I have a different political belief than them. And it just breaks my heart that people get so worked up over these things that they actually won't talk to someone just because they disagree on something. I really hope that they don't tie Discovery into it, but Trekyards thinks they are. If you're talking about to Picard, I saw the one video where they were saying that because they said that sentient androids are 1,000 years off, and Discovery is roughly 1,000 years in the future. That there's the hint of the tie-in and everything. I hope not. Well, at least here's the thing: if the plot for Discovery just happens to be sentient androids have taken over the Federation, whatever, that doesn't necessarily mean they started in Picard. So, yeah. Rambling Canuck, my pain brother, is here and says, I would like to thank you for sending fellow Winnipegger to my channel. He was in the chat last night. Excellent. Well, anytime, that's the thing. It's all about growing the community, man. It is all about, and that's the thing. Like, I apologize to DJ Odyssey. I see he's in the stream right now. I didn't know you were streaming when I started up. And it's not my intent to step on anybody's toes. This is just the only time I can stream right now. On a happier note, I have a theory that as to how Data can still be alive and why the synthetics attacked Mars. The Borg assimilated part of him and took some when they drilled into him. That's interesting, Commander, but here's the thing. And this is where I don't like knowing some behind-the-scenes information. But Brent Spiner made a very specific thing that he would only appear on Picard if Data was still dead. He refused. He did not want any kind of resurrection for Data. So I don't think we're going to see Data come back. Let's see. Chief O'Brien was chief engineer on the Defiant. Was he, though? Was that his title? And the Defiant is kind of a funny case because it's not a full-time starship. It's more like a garrison ship. I'm sure there's a technical term for that. I'm going to have to ask Darren about that. Is there's a technical term for a ship that is commanded not by a permanent crew, but assigned a crew for specific missions. I started rewatching, listening to SG-1 while working. Yeah, and I really like SG-1. That's why I've been talking to Miles about it, because I really do want to get into something a little different than what everybody else is doing. And I was thinking, SG-1 lore type videos could really be something different. Chief O'Brien is not an officer, except in the early installment weirdness when he was a lieutenant. Yeah, that's the funny thing, is that they hadn't figured it out yet, as far as that's. Very anticlimactic attic with Q and Guinan standoff. Yeah, that was really stupid. Did you see the photo of Picard in the uniform? I think it's supposed to be in a flashback scene. I can forward it to you on Twitter if you haven't seen it. I have not seen a picture of Picard in uniform except for what appeared in that one with the kids. Please braid your Klingon nose hair so it matches your ponytail. Funny. As a former admiral, wouldn't Picard have other admiral friends that he could go to for a ship after that cranky admiral swearing lady yelled at him? Possibly, but here's the problem with that. Cranky yelling swearing admiral lady is the CNC. She is the commander-in-chief of Starfleet. And so if she says no, that means no, you can't have any Starfleet assets. Get out of my office. And so if Picard went, after she basically put the kibosh on it, if Picard went to, say Admiral Shelby, let's say Shelby's an admiral now. He goes to Admiral Shelby and says, I really need a ship for this mission. And she's like, sure, Picard, you help save us from the Borg. I'll let you have a ship. Then Admiral Shelby would be brought up on charges. And so that's the problem that Picard would face trying to get another ship from a Starfleet ship. The Bezo, however you say your name, says Martok is Klingon indeed. You all keep harassing Martok on Twitter. I'm not harassing Martok on Twitter. I was simply responding to what the Krogan lies were. You may call me a negative guy, but judging on the current Star Trek TV record, it's doubtful that Picard would end up being a good show. At best, fair, decent show, but not good or great. Well, here's the thing, Sci-Fi Sith. I do not, and I understand where you're coming from. I understand there's reason to be pessimistic about it, but I'm not going to prejudge it. I'm not going to be prejudiced towards it, and I'm not going to say it's going to suck because Discovery sucked. Because, here's the thing. I understand that, people are going to point to Star Trek 2009 through Star Trek Beyond, but those were different productions than Star Trek Discovery and Star Trek Picard. Technically speaking, the CBS deal, the CBS in-house production of Trek has only had one prior show. Yes, it sucked. But that doesn't mean that show number 2 isn't going to be a whole lot better. And show number 3 may be a whole lot better than that. So I'm not going to judge whether or not Picard is going to be good or bad just because Discovery sucked, in my view. Whenever you talk about TOS Klingons not having honor, I always think of Kang. He had honor. Martok, TNG era, best Klingon. I agree. Kang, but the funny thing is that even in that episode, in Day of the Dove, which I do love that episode, and I think Kang had such a great presence. But if you notice that, what was the Klingon proverb then? 1,000 throats can be slit in one night by a running man, right? The idea that honor in the field of combat is nothing. It's perfectly okay to sneak into the enemy camp in the middle of the night and just slit everybody's throats. All right, that is not an honorable way to fight. And so that's kind of the difference. I think that Klingon proverb would never exist in the TNG era. We need Death to Kuroga shirts with a picture of a Klingon turd. That's a great idea. All right, I'm gonna have to do something with that. That is a great idea. In fact, we have with Krapla. What did I miss? Well, Kronos, you missed that earlier today. General Martok reiterated Death to Kuroga. It was brilliant. It was actually wonderful. Yay! Lost 9 subs so night, calling out someone's BS. That's what happens, man. That's what happens. And that's why we need to build each other up as a community. We really, really need to build each other up as a community. And that means all of us, right? And jokes about Kuroga and Turdistan aside for a minute. It means DJ and Sci-Fi Nation and anybody else, Life with Matthew, Orville Nation, all of you guys that are small to medium channels that are doing live streams and putting out videos, support each other, right? And let me know what's going on. Granted, so that at least like when I'm available, hey, I'll join in. I'll throw you a like, because when I throw likes, since I have more subscribers, a few people might see it and come your way. And perfect example of that is when Martok was on Orville Nation. Now, granted, Orville Nation, he was a smart guy. He said, "Hey, Trigger, would you like to come on the panel?" I was like, heck yeah, I'll come on the panel. And so that's why I put a video up on my channel. Said, hey, guys, I'm going to be talking to frickin' JG. Come join me, right? And, where he usually has, typical for his size channel, he might have, 10 to 25 people on a stream. He had 100 people on. Why? Because I put out a video saying, hey, everybody come check this out, right? So get the word out. Let's talk. And when you hear about something going on someone else's channel, support it. That's what we got to do. DJ says, Kronos Handchecker has a booger and doesn't believe us. Hate you. Fed says, for the original series core, TMP essentially Chang, and TNG you can't get past Martok. Besides, something amuses me of a Greek playing a Klingon. He's just so freaking good. I mean, yeah. Come on, listen to that voice.
Yes.
That is such a great. He sounds like an animal, but in a good way. And so for those that have not seen it, here is what happened today when he was on Axonar Comics, and Bird of Prey 5 tried to trick him into supporting Kuroga.
Bird of Prey 5 says, Kapla, JG. Kuroga still believes in you, even if you don't believe in us. It's a good day to smash a turd. Hell, Kuroga.
Death to Kuroga.
Yes, and that no prompting from me, that came completely from him. I was laughing when that happened, because I was wondering, does he even remember what I was the Death to Kuroga thing? But I was literally rolling on the floor laughing when that happened. DJ says, no worries, we knew you was going on, just killing time. Okay, cool. Please don't feed the DJs. Oh, come on. I love DJ, even though he's a weirdo. Valor says, I first heard of Ditto. I first heard of Ditto was from Ghost. I don't know who Ghost is, but okay. I heard that Synthetics attacked because Android was copyrighted by George Lucas. Now, you can't, first of all, it'd be trademarked, and you can't trademark a general term like that. Android is not a trademarkable term any more than, say, remote control. You can't trademark remote control. You can't trademark cup, right? It has to be something specific. And so you can trademark a word you invent or something like that, but you can't trademark just a general term. This is what it says. I do believe O'Brien had chief engineer while on board the Defiant, but only on board the Defiant. You're probably right, but I want to ask Darren. I'm not sure. And Darren's really the one to ask on that. Did you ever see Brent Spiner's YouTube series called Fresh Hell? I have not. There's some strange sound in the background. Yeah, it's probably the ice machine is being noisy right now. I apologize. It should shut. I'll just manually turn it off there. It should cut out in a minute. I think it's probably all for the best that Data isn't on Picard because Brent Spiner is obviously aged since Nemesis, and it would look weird to have an aging android. That's actually part of the reason he stopped doing it. Back when Nemesis was coming out, he wanted Data to die because of the fact that he knew for a fact that he was looking different and he shouldn't age because he's an android. So, kudos to Brent Spiner on that. When Auntie moved, Vivian was headed to the kitchen but stopped and said, Auntie, move, she's real. Yes, Auntie does move every once in a while, but she spends most of her time diligently sleeping. Nightbreeze says, me poo, thank you, my friend. Thomas says, since the actor who plays Maddox isn't listed in the credit, I'm assuming he's dead. Or he's just being played by someone else. That's a possibility. It could be that they're and here's the thing. If you're talking about like on IMDb, before, and again, I hate doing this because I'm agreeing with John Campea again, but the thing is that before a show or movie comes out, you got to take what they put with a grain of salt because they can only put what information they can gather. Once it's out, then they pull everything directly from the credits, and so it's 100% accurate. But until that point, you don't know. So the actor that plays Maddox could show up. That just means he's not in the credits yet. Picard is Kobayashi marooned? Okay. Renegade says the word so. Sir, the word is no. I'm therefore going anyway. Not still going anyway. See, the admirals can say no without swearing. Yeah, I know. And in fact, the funny thing is that if you look at the scene with the admiral, oh geez, we got our spammer again. Let me turn on the. Sorry, I know it's annoying, but gotta do this. And let's go to where's the live stream. Oh, come on. Videos. What the heck? Alright. Skip. Alright. No, it's not. Dang it, it's not showing up. I gotta help. Sorry, yeah, I know this person shows up every now and then, and just decide they think that's funny. I guess they think that's funny. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but whatever. People are, trolls are stupid. What can I say? And now, of course, and so I can't see the chat right now, so bear with me, guys. So it looks like they've stopped, so oh, that's what happened. All right, switch account. I was like, why can't I see my live stream? And And now let's go to videos. All right, there it is. All right, so now we'll go all right, we'll leave that for right now since our troll is not bothering us at the moment. And there, I just have it prepped up here. All right, so yes, but what I was saying, though, the Renegade, is that the conversation with Kirk and the Admiral, I think it was Admiral Morrow in Star Trek 3. It wasn't Admiral Cartwright. He didn't show up until Star Trek 4. But I think it was Admiral Morrow, who was the CNC at that time. And Kirk asked him for permission to basically do that, to take the Enterprise, and he said no. And that's when Kirk said, well, I'm therefore going anyway. And that was, in essence, the same thing. Oh, nice. And Renegade, what? Wait a minute. The Renegade, why does it say you're doing that? Oh no, it's say no. That's weird. Because I know Renegade's not that kind of person. So that's kind of bizarre. Hopefully, I think somebody like oh, I see what he did. Someone created, basically, man, that's jacked up. So someone took Renegade's picture and then added that to their name so that it would look like they did it. Man, oh man. But thank you, Kronos, by the way, for deleting those messages. I appreciate it, man. That's what I love about you guys. You don't, you understand. See, now they're doing it with that. See, why are people like this? I don't know. All right, let's go to the chat options. More options. Video. And links. Come on. Let's do this. Sorry, guys. I am trying to get the right window up, and it's just systems not being nice. Visibility public, current, and stream. Dang it, where is that? Oh, there it is. Is this general? And guys that are mods, please continue to deal with this for a minute. I appreciate it. I'm just trying to, man, the way YouTube keeps changing everything. Video location, license, caption, syndication, category. Yes, I know all that, but that's not what I need. Edit options are disabled. Why are they disabled? Lucky me. That doesn't make any sense. So it's like YouTube made it more difficult. I've logged out. No, it wasn't you, Renegade. It wasn't you. See, this person. And by the way, those of you that make sure that you are not just. What you can do is select that person's name if you're a mod, and just put hide this user from the channel, and that will block it permanently. The problem is that, of course, they keep coming back with new usernames because they're spammers. And, you know, oh, man. I don't understand why I can't change the settings now. Like I said, YouTube changed the way that some of the stuff works. Let's see, if I go back to Creator Studio, I'm sure they think it's, oh, Pakistani body odor, that's original. All right, and let's go to Create Live. skip. All right, I think. All right, now I can get in there. Maybe. Come on. Stream options. DVR, normal latency. Advanced settings. Here we go. So comments, enable DVR. Here we go. All right, this should take care of Mr. Stinky Poops, whatever. That's just there. So, all right, so slow mode is now on, so now that person can't do that. So I apologize for the long delay there, guys. People like that are just scum. What can I say? All right, back to the chat. Look, trolls, you are receiving very pathetic by now. Yeah. What did he say? He said no, and therefore getting away. Admiral Kirk, yes. Back to Kiss says, totally missed that cranky Admiral swearing lady was the commander-in-chief. My bad. Yeah, they don't say it directly, except for when Picard shows up at Starfleet, he says he has an appointment with the CNC. And so that's how you know. Let's see. Now, unfortunately, because of our troll friend, that's taking me a second to... Okay, there we go. Commander Soda says, would Kling Orcs drop 2 turds, and will that be illustrated in your future shirts? That's actually an interesting question. I don't know. You would think that Kling Orcs would have to have 2 buttholes, because a gay Kling Orc would have to have 2... Yeah, so I'd assume so. Star Trek Picard is 100 times better than TNG. I don't know if I'd say 100 times better than TNG, but I do actually think it's better than TNG so far, which I know is going to piss some people off. But that's not saying like TNG didn't have better episodes and like Best of Both Worlds and episodes like Chain of Command, The Inner Light. There are some great moments in TNG that Picard hasn't even come close to. But if you compare how TNG started to how Picard's starting, yeah, hard to argue. David said, have you heard the new Section 31 show they're producing? It was on my newsfeed today. Michelle Yeoh will star. WTF, please, why won't they support? Why do you want to support a genocidal serial killer in Trek? Yeah, well, first of all, take it with a grain of salt, because at this point, it's not 100% confirmed, but we will find out. And Captain Cat, thank you so much. I appreciate it, because you know that troll thing, it got me a little stressed out, so thank you, my friend. Puts a couple of bucks in, says, bro, thank you for what you do. Man, thank you, because without you guys, I couldn't do this, so thank you, and I absolutely mean that. Let's see. Ozzy says, you need more mods. I volunteer. All right, my friend, you got it. You're a mod now. Congratulations. Use it responsibly. And I mean that. But Mr. Captain says, I watched Where No Man Has Gone Before today. Noticed a lot of red trim on the Enterprise, like STD, very much to my surprise. If you're talking about the model of the ship, yeah, it was a little different. Captain Cat says, Senator, I wasn't there for you. I was there for the general. That's all right. I understand. Crow says, but what about Kuroga?
Death to Kuroga!
That's what about Kuroga. Todd says, bird fail, he probably was screaming. I know, I would have loved to have seen the look on that man's face when he was sitting there in his bed thinking, yeah, I got anti-checker now.
Bird of Prey 5 says, Kapla, JG. Kuroga still believes in you, even if you don't believe in us. It's a good day to smash a turd. Hell, Kuroga.
Death to Kuroga!
Yes, death to Kuroga, not hail Kuroga. Get it right, Bird. Get it right. Section 31 to the Emperor of the Terran Empire is the new Trek. Is that really what we're accepting now for Trek? Sadly, it's really upsetting. Yeah, I hope that, you know, I hope that I would rather see a Pike a Pike Spock #1 show would be a whole lot better than doing something Section 31. If you want to do something else in that time period, I'm totally cool with it. But do the Pike Spock #1 story. That's going to be a lot more interesting than Section 31. Section 31 is just basically glorifying the evil, and I don't want that. Hail Kuroga, cry havoc, let's sit the sassies of war. Yeah, whatever. Ghost was a movie. Oh, Ghost was a movie. Oh, that movie, the movie like with Patrick Swayze? Vinny of Hermes says Kuroga will conquer all of you.
Death to Kuroga!
You want to say that to Chancellor Martok's face? Wes says, hail, how you doing, my friend? Sounds like a Jaloja machine, anti-trigger. I turned it off. Master Chief is about as good as a captain or lieutenant. Well, Master Chief, in the military, the highest ranking enlisted man is underneath the lowest ranking officer. So a Master Chief, if you say, is about as good as a captain, well, only in experience, but not in rank. Shomer says, greetings, A-Trigger fellow nerds. How you doing, my friend? And the troll. Vinny of Hermes says, do you know what happened with Rick Berman? I wonder what he thinks about current Trek. I have not heard anything from Rick Berman. So honestly, I have no idea. I would actually be really curious to see what he thinks of it. And Wes says, again, hail, how you doing? Life with Matthew says, can't see what we're saying, we can rule the screen. Anti-Trucker can't see what we're saying, we can rule the stream. Well, yeah. And by the way, that troll, I gotta give the troll some credit in that they actually changed their icon to match the Renegade, which I know, Renegade, you were embarrassed about it, but everybody knows it wasn't your fault. So, do not sweat over it, my friend. Gotta go to bed. Darn it, work. Good night. Good show. Thank you, my friend. Take care of yourself. And then some more of the troll. And let me do something. All right, Renegade. There we go. All right, Ozzy says you need some more mods. Already talked that going down here. Renegade says, I know it's not me, but it's embarrassing. Don't stress over it. And then more of the troll. Daniel says, Section 31 makes me happy. It makes me sad, Daniel. Honestly, I do not want a Section 31 show. I'm sorry. Thomas says, Nerdrotic had this problem, I believe. Please ask what he did to stop it. I think he just kept slow mode on, honestly, because that's the thing with slow mode on, and I didn't put the slow mode to the full 60 seconds. It's only got 15 seconds on it. So it just means you can only comment once every 15 seconds. And that effectively stops that kind of spamming because, if you can only do it once every 15 seconds, it's not fun. And there's Captain Cat's super chat. Thank you. Sci-Fi says, the mic I used for the XSplit test today was the same one I used in StreamYard. Big difference. And that's why I'm looking at some newer, better quality mics. Saw some decent options for about $45. Yeah, you want... I know that Mr. Miles hates when I say this, but it's true. Your first major investment needs to be the microphone. The microphone needs to be the best you can possibly get. You can get by with a cheap webcam in the beginning at least, but you've got to get a quality mic. Otherwise, people will tune out immediately. Some peeps just don't get it. The more hate, the more the hate, the more we are stronger. Indeed. Daniel says, don't jinx it. Anti-Tracker will get a Section 31 as being written and... Don't jinx it, Anti-Tracker. We will get Section 31. It's being written. The sets and stuff are being produced. I honestly, Daniel, I know you're excited about it, but you're the only one here that is. Commander says, may I have a camera like Mr. Miles requested, a wrench, and be a moderator? May I have a camera like Mr. Miles requested, a wrench, and be a moderator? That's a weird way of asking to be a moderator. He kept saying he was a changeling. Bird couldn't accept reality. Yeah, okay. Wait, that's not human, not the greatest Klingon. Wait, that's a human, not the greatest Klingon since Kalis. No, that he's just hiding his bumps to be modest. SC says Section 31 using Unforgiven as a template. That is a good thing. I'm sorry, SC. I think that just any show about Section 31 is a bad idea. And Nerdrotic is in the house, but his message got deleted. I don't know how. I think it was by accident. And Nerdrotic said I had the same guy doing it to me. Sorry about deleting your message, Nerdrotic. Yeah. And Thomas, why did Nerdrotic get timed out or something by accident? Did someone time out Nerdrotic? Because please don't. Midnight's Edge says hi to... Oh, Midnight's Edge is here. Says hi to Nerdrotic. Nerdrotic, I'm sorry you got... it looks like you got timed out, so I am truly sorry about that. I think it was a mistake. Let's see. Oh, yeah, you were hidden on the channel. Thomas, why did you hide Nerdrotic? So Nerdrotic, if you're still listening, you should be able to put stuff on the channel. Please do if you're still there. I want to make sure it's working. Oh, is that not Nerdrotic? Oh, well, never mind. Wait, it's Nerdrotic, isn't it? All right, now I got to check. Go to channel. Oh, you're right. It's not Nerdrotic. Ha! Good call. Hi, user from channel. Thank you. So in that case, Thomas, congratulations. You did a good job. And that's my problem. I am dyslexic, so I did not catch that. So fortunately, yeah, thank you. And Thomas says in all caps, that's not Nerdrotic. Yeah, that would be the move. Yeah, not Nerdrotic. Wow. So there's a fake Nerdrotic towel too. Thank you for catching that, Thomas, because with my dyslexia, I did not. And he was behaving like Nerdrotic at first. So it was probably that same troll. Rick Berman is living the TNG era residuals. That's probably true. And by the way, Mr. Troll, if you are still watching this, you know, there are ways to, try Viagra. That might help. There are ways to erectile dysfunction can be treated. So I'm just saying, you don't have to do this to get off. You can take pills now. There seems to be a bar to the left of the scammers' account. I would say people, but there's something else. Oh, man. Let's see. SC says, the Venom Menace is here because they heard you going against the grain. Actually, not really going against the grain right now. And Midnight's Edge, first of all, you guys know, I'm on Midnight's Edge every freaking Wednesday. I love the guys, all right? Yes, we disagree, but... don't think, and I know some people think I do not hate the Phantom Menace. I'm not opposed to the Phantom Menace. I simply disagree on a couple of things is all. And that's not the biggest deal in the world. And yes, it was a fake. Nerdrotic Midnight's Edge says it was a fake account. Nerdrotic was hidden by me because I unhid it because I was tricked. Daniel says, some guy came here with the name Pakistani Body Odor. Yeah, I saw that one too. Well, I need to go. Vivian is going. Give me a look, and I'm sure Miss Handchecker gave you at some point. Good night. Miss Handchecker's in bed, actually, because it's very, very late. It's 12:30 here. Jeff says, hello, my friend. How you doing? Good to see you. Ozzy says, Friday night game night's going to be a thing with your new schedule. Probably, yes. It's just, it's just going to be much, much later. So that's the only problem. Why would anyone pick on a crippled old Trekkie? Because people are dicks. That's the thing. And the thing is if somebody, what motivates people like that really is beyond me. Because is it just that they get off on making trouble for other people? If so, what a sick and twisted kind of personality that is. I mean, seriously, if that's all it is, if you just get off and you think it's hilarious to inconvenience other people, let me give you some serious advice for just a minute. Get help. You are a sick, sad person, and you need professional help if that's what you need to do to have a good time. Seriously, get some help. Matthew puts $5 into the chat. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. Says, you're the most Star Trek knowledgeable person I know on YouTube. Wrong. But says, Doomcock is a close second. Thanks for all your great content. Much respect. Here's the thing. I'm not. I'm definitely not. All right. And thank you for the compliment, Matthew. I do appreciate it. But I'm definitely not the most knowledgeable person on YouTube. I'm very good with the original series in particular. But here's what I get. Characterizations better than a lot of people. Like even though people say you're not a next gen fan, but then I'll explain to them why I know Picard and why I know these. I'm good at that kind of stuff. But I'm also have some of the most knowledgeable people in the world subscribe to this channel right now. All right, like people like Darren Wagner. Holy crap, the man is a walking encyclopedia. Stuart Foley, Trek Yards. Come on, the man. He is an encyclopedia. So I have access to some of the greats. I'm definitely not one of the greats. Let's see. Midnight's Edge After Dark has pretty much crapped all over Pat Stew. No, and Trigger, you have to at least been objective. I don't know. Patrick's. Oh, they pretty much crapped all over Patrick Stewart. Is that what you mean? Yeah, I don't watch every Midnight's Edge video, but I don't know what they've said about Patrick Stewart as of late. I know that they're not happy with Picard, or at least less happy than I am. Why troll you? Don't know. Maybe the trolls mean you're making some noise on YouTube land and stirring the pot. Well, I do take it as a compliment that someone thinks I'm important enough to troll. Midnight's, I just say, please enlighten me of what fake news we made. I'm curious about that too. By the way, I assume it's Tom. I hope you're doing well. Sorry I couldn't be on the show last week. I think it's probably all for the best that Data isn't in Picard because Brent Spiner's obviously aged. I agree. Who is the most inspiring character in Trek in your mind? Captain James Tiberius Kirk, hands down. And the thing is, I know I'm completely biased, and I don't pretend that it's not anything but pure bias. I grew up as a latchkey kid. That's a term we used to use for a kid that basically after school comes home to an empty house, right? My dad worked a lot. My mom worked part-time, but she went to work right when I was coming home from school. So I didn't see my family at all. My sister was just out partying. So I would come home to an empty house every single day. Captain James T. Kirk taught me about life. The reason that I can give people a fair shake even when they're complete dicks to me is because of Captain James T. Kirk. Because Captain Kirk is the guy that would beat the crap out of someone and then hold out their hand and say, let me help. And so, yeah, I probably wouldn't be married to Mrs. Anti-Tracker if it wasn't for Captain James C. Kirk, because he taught me that, skin color and stuff is not important. So, yes, I lived in a very racist community, I'm not going to lie. So, yeah, Captain Kirk. And there goes the chat jumping on me again. Carlos says, I think it's a Bird. He said that he has been a troll, but then again, Bird isn't a vlogger. Yeah, I don't, what, honestly, here's the thing. I know you're joking, but I do know Bird personally. And, he and I have, the Kuroga thing aside, that's just all fun and games. You guys know that. But Bird is a great guy. And I don't believe for a second that he would ever do anything like that. Adam says, I don't like how Picard portrays the Federation. Once a hopeful idea, now just another corrupt organization. Star Trek was hopeful, not anymore. I disagree with you on that. I disagree with that assessment. And I'm actually working on a video about that exact topic because I think people are completely and grossly misunderstanding the world of Picard. Andrew, you should be the captain of the next Enterprise. That'd be cool. No, nobody wants to see a fat middle-aged captain. That's why we were right, and wasn't. That's why we were right, and it wasn't delayed in the reshoot. Second unit, I'm not sure what you're talking about there, so I'll just leave it alone. Live with Matthew says most inspiring character Reginald Barclay. Daniel says come back, William Shatner to Trek. No. Here's the thing. I love William Shatner. I met him once. He's a very gracious guy. And he, and like I said, I consider Captain Kirk and William Shatner a true inspiration in my life. He is my childhood hero. That being said, let the man have his retirement. Seriously, just let him be retired. I know that we would all selfishly want him to keep performing as Captain Kirk until the day he dies. But, you know what? Do you really want Captain Kirk to go the route of Picard? Because here's the worst thing about Picard to me is watching Patrick Stewart deliver those lines. I'm Jean-Luc Picard. I understand that in the story he's 95 years old, and so yes, it makes sense in universe, but it's sad to me that honestly, here's the saddest thing about the Picard show is like, oh, they greenlit season 2. Sure hope Patrick Stewart's alive for it. That's sad. So I don't want William Shatner to be on his deathbed and making episodes of Trek. I want him to be on his deathbed when that time comes to be around his family and friends, and the people that mean the most to him. And so, as much as I would love to see Captain Kirk in the captain's chair once again, I want him to enjoy his golden years. SC says the Shat is great, but yeah, his Trek days are done. His post-Generations book were enough for anyone. Well, that aside, it's not that. I just don't want, I don't want to ruin the man's life. I think the world of Picard builds well, and the deconstruction of the Federation and the DS9 and TNG films just remains to be seen if they can do it well. I agree that's, and keep in mind, you're confusing, and even though I agree with you, there's a couple of terms you're confusing there. A lot of people confuse there. The Federation and Starfleet, two very different things. Theron says that's really impressive. Okay, I'm not sure. How are you responding with my name? You got me confused there. Was there a fake? Now I'm confused. Are there two? Wait. T-E... What? You're saying there's two... I'm confused now. Sorry, people talking with my name. There's a fake... All right, well, it looks like... If you... Okay, so... Oh, I see. There's the 21... Well, no, which one is the one... Because I know you timed out one. How can you tell the difference? I can't even see the difference. Now, it could be my dyslexia, but I don't see a difference between the two names. So somebody help me there, because I'm confused. And here's the thing, Commander Shutter. And I will tell you, and this goes for all the moderators, if someone is doing something like straight up imitating like that, or they're doing the spam thing, do not time them out. Select the option that says hide user from channel. That is a permanent ban. I don't want that person back here. All right. I don't want harassment on my channel. So yeah. Man, that was confusing. But how I still don't know how you can tell the difference. I can't. And so oh wait, there's a line by one of them. How'd that happen? So the one you timed out had a line by his name, so I'm going to go ahead and hide that person now. Oh no, he's hidden now, so that's good. All right. Shatner's almost 90. Yes, Shatner is actually the same age as Patrick Stewart, but he looks younger. Yes, I think A-Trigger, Bird of Prey, Captain Foley are the most honorable people on YouTube. You can have a laugh, admit your mistakes, and Jeff seeing you honest. Well, thank you, Carlo. I appreciate that. And Ozzy said there's a fake. Yes, so it looks like we got rid of the fake. So good job on that. And so, honestly, Commander, good job catching that. Obviously, we need to remain diligent about the spammers. It's annoying, but you know, it comes with the territory. And let's see. Live with Matthew says there must be a hidden character in like a space in the fake account's name. Yeah, it's that. But I'm impressed, Commander Sutter. How did you figure it out? That's what I want to know. Click the channel and see the subscription. Ah, is that how you did it? Okay. And let's see. Cinnamon's going to bed. All right, I'm going to be wrapping up here in just a moment. Jeff says, I think the way we would identify starships when hailing other ships is why people get confused with Federation and Starfleet. They would introduce themselves as the Federation Starship. That's true. They'll say the Federation Starship Enterprise, but that would be like, for example, if you are on a United States naval vessel and you said, I'm on the United States of America aircraft carrier Enterprise, right? Well, it's a part of the Navy. It's not the United States of America's ship. It's the Navy ship that serves the United States of America. And that's the difference between Federation and Starfleet. Federation would be like the nation. When is the next Borg episode going to drop? Not for a while. It depends on... and actually, the next one is going to be about a different species. Actually, Shatner's 88, Stewart's 79. Is it that much of a difference? Patrick Stewart also playing Picard is old, meaning they even showed him struggling upstairs. They may show him getting his grumpishin back. I'm not sure what you mean. Brent Spiner won't return as Data, but he may return as the almighty Lore. I hope not. And now we know what Michael Burnham does with her free time in the Red Angel suit. Carl says, I think you can have the same name as someone else if you're in a different region or use words we can't. Yeah, I don't know how how you do that. Wes Moody Webcast says he's copied me now. So make sure you verify that you got the copy before you permanently ban them. But yes, thank you. Man, Commander Shutter, you are on your game tonight. Midnight's Edge says, for everyone telling me to calm down, SC has a hard-on for us forever. I'm not telling you to calm down, but I don't know what you guys are talking about, to be honest with you. My first memory of Star Trek was in 1974. I was 4 years old. My mom put it on the TV and told me she thought I would like it. I was hooked from then on. Awesome, PRD. Well, honestly, my mom watched Trek when she was pregnant with me, and I was a very fussy baby, but the first time they could get me to calm down was when I was, and I said this in one of my videos, I was, 4 months old, and they sat me down to watch Spock's Brain, and that was the first time I ever calmed down. Bernard and Mama Pray, really great people. I'd do anything for guests. I do anything for it. Guess it's because I'm in a similar situation with Mrs. Sci-Fi Nation and feel empathy towards them. Absolutely. Bird is, and I tell you, Mama Pray is a freaking saint. We need a passcode. King to Queens level 3. Jeff says Shadow was born in 31. Stuart was born in 1940. Wow. So Stuart was born the same year as my mom. Do you like being told over to make stuff up? I'm sorry, but that's insulting. Well, it can be. That's for sure. And Tom, here's the thing. Let me say this about Midnight's Edge. All right. You may disagree with them, but you know what? They do get sources for what they say. I don't, sometimes those sources are right, sometimes those sources are wrong, but they don't just make stuff up. All right. I do know them well enough to know that. And so, yes, do they delve into some stuff that I don't? Sure. But I'm not going to say that they're just sitting there making crap up. And if I thought Midnight's Edge was an unethical channel, I wouldn't be there on Wednesdays. So you have my ringing endorsement there. So as far as I trust their ethics, I trust their intent. I just don't always disagree. I don't always agree with their conclusions, and I don't always agree with what their sources are. But that's perfectly okay. Sci-Fi Nation says, great stream as always, bud. Live long in alpaca. Thank you. Sources, named soon, and is often wrong. So's the New York Times. And here's the thing, honestly, SC, if you don't like what they do on their channel, don't watch their channel. That's the bottom line. Same thing with any channel. If you don't like the way Lore Reloaded presents his stuff, if you don't like the way Trek Yards presents his stuff, if you don't like the way Nerdrotic presents his stuff, don't subscribe, don't go there. Jeff says, the green screen is much better. Well, thank you. I've been working on it. I still need to work on the lighting a little bit, but I think it's coming out pretty good. And you see Auntie is diligently sleeping, and that's what I'm going to do in just a few minutes. So with that, guys, thank you all for hanging out with me. Thank you, Midnight's Edge, for dropping by. I don't think you make stuff up, so I think you're cool in my book. And yeah, Jolan True and Kapla, and well, one more time, we just got to watch how Bird of Prey just got dissed by Chancellor Martok.
Bird of Prey 5 says, Kapla, JG. Karoga still believes in you, even if you don't believe in us. It's a good day to smash a turd. Hell, Karoga.
Death to Karoga.
That's right.
Death to Karoga.
Captain Cap puts a couple of bucks in. Thank you so much, Captain, for finishing off with that. I truly appreciate it. And so again, guys, take care, and I will see you guys. Well, anybody that's up, I'll see you tomorrow morning at some point, and then on Wednesday, no idea. No freaking clue.
Making your way with the nerds today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from hating JJ sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to just get laid? Sometimes you wanna go where all the Trekkies know your name, and they're always glad you came. You wanna be in a galaxy where Star Trek isn't lame. You wanna go where everybody knows your name. Turds of a feather flock together, that's what we believe. We know a place that's got you covered, a place to get relief. Wouldn't you like to say me poo? Sometimes you wanna go where Turnistanies know your name, and all Karogans are to blame. You wanna be where you can see Karoga go up in flames. You wanna go where everybody knows your name.
You son of a bitch, anti-tracker!